Yeah, it's like, since the president announced an investigation of China's trade practices last summer. But more will be revealed when the administration publishes the list of Chinese goods it will target for tariffs within the next 15 days. I don't remember seeing that, by the way. We're still on the short side. It'll be another couple days.
Yeah, because it was just last week when
Yeah.
we reviewed this.
We learned something today, but there is a tremendous uncertainty about what's going to happen, said Chad P. Bown, senior fellow at the Peterson Institute for International Economics. I am not sure of their lean, but it says, so in a sense, we didn't learn much.
Big surprise there.
There's tremendous uncertainty about what's going to happen. We didn't learn much. Or like, in other words, Pepsi, did you know this? But Pepsi is a drink. Oh, Lord. They mentioned about, I'm just going to, give you the highlights and lowlights here. They talked about, targets for, tariffs. $60 billion represents more than 10% of America's annual imports from China. Said eventually they will feed into higher consumer prices. And I think that was Mr. Bound from the Peterson Institute. But, that's something you got to really think about, guys. It's, put in your pipe and smoke it. I gave you the highlights and the lowlights, guys, but they talk about, individual states that, feel the burn. They're going to feel the burn.
Dear God, I thought we were done with that.
What? I can't even do a Vermont accent. Individualist socialist from Vermont. He looks a lot like my dad.
That's what you said. Yeah, socialism is.
There's a lot of people. Well,
the one thing I will say, one good thing about Bernie Sanders. The one good thing about him is we had a better shot of getting out of all these wars with him than most other candidates. That is the only good thing I can say about Bernie.
But he's going to steal my guns. He himself, just like John Kerry, are going to sneak in my house and steal my guns. Because every redneck says if you vote for a liberal president, they're going to take their guns. Like, literally, like John Kerry was going to crash through my front door and take my guns. Like, because I voted for him. A lot of people know I actually voted liberal one time.
Well, I've done
some
that.
of my best friends are liberals.
I've done that before, too, because I actually try to vote for who I think would actually do the best job instead of actually support the party. But it's just both times I've done it with either or party and just been pissed off and disappointed by either party. So that's kind of why I'm more of that's what got me to switch to the liberty side of thinking.
But who would build the roads? No, anyway, without hyperbole about John Kerry and a geriatric old man from Vermont breaking in my front, taking my guns, just like my roads. They talked about Robert Lighthizer, who is the trade rep, and he talked to the Senate Finance Committee. He talked about tariffs should be levied on Chinese products from all advanced industries it has vowed to build up as part of its Made in China 2025 plan. He talked about electric vehicles, high-tech shipping, and aerospace technology. He says he called them the ones I care about. Not like, use condoms or like needles with bent. Like
the syringe point.
Yeah, the bent syringe points and, miscolored shoelaces and things like that. Of course, there's one guy who produces his own miscolored shoelaces in the United States. I want levies on these miscolored shoelaces. Because it's hard for a man to make a damn living.
But your laces are miscolored.
But
Logic!
Oh, Lord. Anyway, but it's, they mentioned individual states, Iowa and stuff like things about soybean exports and things like that. They said the handle of a Democratic trade hawk in the Senate, Sherrod Brown of Ohio, said the tariffs were a first step towards a comprehensive response to China that should also include increasing screening of foreign investment in the U.S. to ensure it does not hurt American jobs. But my jobs.
That's really what the situation sounds like right now.
I don't even know where we're going. It's just taxing. It's not the story, guys. It's just, it's a lot of like quotes and hyperbole, and it's, it's some of this is protectionism. And the thing is, I honestly think that if we went through the framework that we have, and we were smarter about it, I think we could work around this. Honestly, we could, like, if we were better at making things and smarter at making things, we could blow these people out of water. Like, a lot of people know in China, and I've done an actual study, a huge study. It was about making a company that makes messenger bags, and they make them in San Francisco. It's not a cheap place, by the way.
Is that the Merces?
No, not like a messenger bag, like the guys on the bikes ride.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the man purses, the Merces.
No. This is like guys that the bike messengers.
The delivery.
But they make them in different types where you can put like a laptop in it and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that it's expensive to make them in San Francisco. They make them in San Francisco, and there's other companies that make them in China. But China, the framework I haven't made in China, it's a nightmare, and there's quality control. Transportation is a bitch. To travel from the equivalent of North Alabama, like the border, Tennessee and Alabama, down to the waters of the Gulf of America. Not the Gulf of Mexico.
Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. Insert humor. It's the Gulf of Mexico, guys.
Gulf of America.
America!
Fuck yeah!
Thank you. It was to Mobile, and you could drive a sports car and make it there in like 3 hours roughly from where I live. You could probably do it with a really nice car. A Bugatti Veyron could make it there if it was earlier in the morning. Not like I'm talking about, like, say you leave the border at midnight, you could make it there at 3 o'clock in the morning. And with a Mustang. A Bugatti Veyron would get there, would probably make the earth spin the other way. But anyway, the thing is, what I can do in 4 hours in a passenger car taking my sweet ass time, it would take 24 hours in China, the same distance.
No shit.
Like awful. And if you don't get it right to the water in no time, shit, dude, you're told shit's creek, But anyway, guys, it's just, we can work through things, we can work around them, we can be smarter, and honestly, no, it's accusing people of cheating and stuff. Look, that's a non-starter, man. This is like high school bush league garbage.
Amen to that.
All right, next article, guys. From the Boston Globe, Evan Horowitz. Evan the Horror Horowitz. That's not his nickname. I just made that up.
The whore.
The horror, from Apocalypse Now. The horror.
Oh, you had me stuck at whore.
The horror. Like at the end when he's guy hacked him to death or whatever. It's the horror. It's like, I watched a snail crawl across the edge of a straight razor. We will exterminate them, those nabobs.
That was a weird movie. That was just a weird movie.
What did the assassins call the assassins?
Business partners.
Hey man, what kind of tips you got for me? Oh, what kind of business are you in?
Explosive or poison?
Yeah, man. Look, man, I'm out of work, man. Oh, hell, I'm covered up. Like, man, look, you got any like bush league, like a drug dealer needs to be wiped out. Look, I get rid of my own body. So like, yeah, man, I'll let you subcontract.
Exactly.
I'm like, hey, I actually got one. I've actually had a set of twins. I'm supposed to wipe off the planet and get rid of their bodies. You want one of them? Oh, yeah. What kind of action you talking about? $2 or $3 grand. This is like assassins, so do you use barrels? Like, damn, you're pretty green at this, aren't you? Yeah, man. I mean, I got started, got my license from the government. I just couldn't make it happen, Hey, my numbers are right. Like where I live, there's no work, Sleeping on the overpass. It's really hard for an assassin. Dang, I mean, look, the Mexicans took all my jobs. I'm kidding, guys. Yeah, the Assassins Union is like big on building the wall now. I mean, they teamed up with the local whores union is real upset too. Look, damn hand jobs aren't paying anything these days.
Oh man.
Look, folks.
You gotta laugh somehow.
Assassins Union. It's like, they're stealing my jobs. I mean, next you're gonna tell me the Robbers Guild, like the local guild, like the local,
like a thieves guild.
Yeah, the Thieves Guild. They're real upset. Like, look, every time I broke into a house, just the past 3 weeks, there's nothing there. Like, what? Like, next, you're going to let all these Mexicans in here, and I'm not even going to be able to pawn the furniture. I'm starving to death. It's just damn hard for a thief these days. It's freaking Mexicans.
I could see it. I really could.
It's like the Pimps union. Like, look, I used to have more corners for more hoes. Now I got less corners and less hoes. So they ain't working, they ain't doing shit. I'm being undercut. Said all these bitches from Mexico. I said, I love bitches, I love women. But I'm gonna tell you this much. I can't run I have less corners, I have less women. I ain't got no money. I said, I had to sell one of my chains. Girls are working, ain't got no business. Because everybody goes to Little Mexico, everybody goes behind the tienda and they get hand jobs. So I said, my girls ain't out of work. How am I supposed to take care of my hoes? It's like, yeah, man, like it's like the players, local players union, the players and Pimps united. Local 101.
PAPU. PAPU.
We call like Big Money Charlie is the local president.
Charlie Murphy.
It's like Big Money Charlie, Fast Eddie, like Little Ed, who's really like 6'3", Little Ed is 6'3". Make it hard for a player to come up on some money. It's like, are we gonna put up with this? No. So what are we gonna do? Drink Alizé. Said get you some corn chips. Got some Alizé. Said bring your bottom bitches, man. I said we got to protest. You're number one hoe. It takes care of the other hoes. Mm-hmm. It tells them the rules. That's your bottom bitch. So if you didn't know that, but
I learned something new today.
So yes, like man. So hey, let's go talk to. Let's go talk to Slate Rick. Said, thanks, Eddie. Thanks, bro. Thanks, man. Digging it, bro. Now I'm gonna tell you something now. Players and Pimps. Indian United Hoes. I'm gonna tell you this much. I ain't making no damn money. I said, we gotta build this motherfucking wall. And that pimp's gotta get me some goddamn money. And we need some damn goddamn chicken. I said, I'm gonna tell you this much. I'm gonna get another corner when we build the goddamn wall. I'm gonna expand. I'm gonna tell you, for every goddamn pimp out here, we're gonna have to expand. We're gonna make America great again. For pimps and players. All right, let's go back to the article of Evan Horowitz. Oh, Lord. Oh, yeah. Guys, this wasn't Edgar Horowitz either, or Evan Horowitz. So, Rand Paul, King Senate drama is at it again. And, Burgess Everett. Really cool ass name.
It really is. I mean, that's like a writer's kind of name.
Yeah, he probably wears a bow tie.
Or one of those like Colonel Sanders deals. I don't know what the fuck you call it.
I'm gonna tell you something, folks. Burgess Everett here. Okay, updated on the 22nd, 5:45. And this didn't say specifically. Look, Burgess Everett did it. I don't remember where it was. Junior senator from Kentucky is refusing to rule out forcing another brief government shutdown. He held off for a while, by the way, guys, over his protest of the $1.3 trillion spending bill, which he's called budget busting, and a return to Obama spending and trillion-dollar deficits. Thank you.
The one guy that speaks logic.
Fellow senators are trying to desperately persuade him to let the Senate vote on the spending bill Thursday and avoid unnecessarily keeping them in town on Friday and into the weekend, just because they didn't feel like working.
God forbid you have to work on a weekend.
You get paid how much money and you're afraid to work. It says, Paul, this is a slam piece. Paul was non-committal on Thursday as he walked into Republican caucus lunch.
Caucus.
Yeah, put that caucus in your mouth. He said he had more than 2,000 pages of the 2,200-page bill left to get through before he would decide how to proceed. Because that's bigger than War and Peace, by the way.
Yeah. Did you see some of the stuff that was tweeted in there that was in there? We ought to, find that list and then just talk about some of the bullshit that's in there.
Well, not only was it, there was nothing for the Pimps and Players release.
I was about to say the same thing.
Look, Eddie, that dude is hard up, and we gotta make America great again for Pimps and Players. And FOSTA, we're going to go over FOSTA, the bill that basically took electronic personals off of back page and things like that.
I learned something new today.
We'll go over that article too, guys. Speaking of Pimps and Players, it's hard for a pimp these days. We're going to get on welfare now. Living with moms. The unholy alliance between Republicans, Democrats is this. Republicans are not fiscally conservative on the military. They want unlimited spending on the military. Democrats say, we'll give you the military spending if we get domestic spending, Paul said. We really have too much compromise in Washington. They are always compromising to raise spending and increase the debt. Thank you. Senate Majority Leader Mitch, don't call me bitch, McConnell.
Bitch.
Bottom bitch, McConnell. It's a compliment, by the way. I don't like the guy. It's a compliment. Republican of Kentucky, by the way, continued to try to set up a vote before the shutdown deadline, but made a procedural move that would allow the Senate to begin advancing the bill on Saturday at 1 a.m. You sneaky bastards. That would mean another brief lapse in government funding, making it the third shutdown of the year. Democrats agreed to a quick vote early on Thursday evening, but Paul declined to allow one, according to senators' aides. He doesn't give one hairy fuck what they think. And here's the thing. Maybe one person has enough principle to just say no. Like his dad was Dr. No.
Yeah.
Rand Paul is a new Dr. No.
Well, at least we've got one, but we need more. That doctor needs a staff.
Dr. Feel Good. It's Dr. Feel Don't. Okay, anyway, guys. Republicans had hoped that they could produce a spending deal much earlier this week to evade Paul's procedural protest and give the Senate time to pass the bill without the possibility of a shutdown. But top congressional leaders released the bill at 8 p.m. on Wednesday, infuriating Paul and other conservatives who say it is not nearly enough time to review the legislation. It's like 4 or 5 hours.
It's bull.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to the highlights here. The will or he won't. He cause a momentary shutdown is a familiar play from Paul. He loves using Senate rules to draw attention to his causes, even if it means agitating the people he goes to work with every day.
But his causes are the ones, in my opinion, that are actually worth having attention brought to it.
Yes, and on top of what General Flynn just said, it's better to stick to your principles than being an ass.
Damn right. I mean, that's the biggest problem I think we have with the Congress and the Senate, besides no term limits, is nobody sticks to principle. It's all party line, and that's got us in this mess we're in now.
All right. And Rand Paul's aide had said, we don't want leverage. We want a real process and time to debate, amend, and vote.
Oh, God, logic.
It's not too much to ask, but Senate leaders refuse to do it time after time. Cindy Lauper. Glad I get up.
Dang.
Time after time. If you're an ass and you won't pass any bills, time after time. Rand Paul is right. Time after time. All right.
At least for the most part, anyway. Now, I will say he did mess up by not having somebody like Jason Stapleton to run his campaign. Right? I'll also say the same thing about Austin Peterson. They should have got together with that dude, because with what he knows about marketing and how to deliver a message.
Austin Peterson has, I think he has good people behind him in his Missouri campaign. He's
the Missouri campaign, but I was talking the presidential though. I mean, because in my opinion, as far as delivering a message, I mean, I say a lot about Jason Stapleton because I'm a fan of the show, but at the same time, the way I think is he got my attention on this stuff. And if he can grab my attention, and I'm probably the least political kind of guy you'll find, then he'll probably be the kind of guy you need to get the message out there, because he'll appeal to people like me. And there's a lot of me.
Here's something that, before I say it, I want you to, keep this in your mind when I say it. Libertarians are not scared of any of this diatribe this guy's covering. He says, Rand Paul, a.k.a. he, has filibustered nominees, briefly caused the surveillance program to lapse, and in February refused to give GOP leaders consent to vote on a funding bill before the funding deadline. Okay, who cares? Your buddies, it's like I tell people, I really, honestly, I quit caring what a lot of other people said.
Yeah.
He has principles and he sticks to it. Okay. He won't let me have more corn subsidies. It's like, 'cause you're a fucking puss. Because it's garbage. All right, he also irked GOP leaders by opposing President Donald Trump's nominees to lead the State Department CIA. That could allow Democrats to block the president's picks. But here's the thing. I'm like, if he thinks that it's his job to vet these picks. It's not like, oh, I'm a Republican, you're Republican too, so I'll let you do whatever you want. No, it's principles. It's hey, if something stinks, it stinks.
Yeah. Shit is shit.
I'm gonna tell you to zip your freaking fly. Look.
But I had to air it out.
Walking around with your junk hanging out.
Rock out with my cock out.
Hanging out with my wing out. All right.
Motorhead, rock out.
Outside of cock wrangling, he said, beyond simply annoying other senators, another Paul protest could disrupt trips some of them are planning to take overseas as part of congressional delegations.
Notice what they called those trips.
And I've actually said, is this, can we, save money and, is this really a necessity?
Well, check out the name they used for those trips.
I've heard this, and they're called junkets.
It's hilarious.
Congressional delegations. It's the multiple so-called CODELs. Congressional delegations.
Coddle.
Congressional delegations. Come on, buddy.
Coddles. See?
They're scheduled to leave on Thursday night, and they're making contingency plans in case Paul forces the Senate to stay in session on Friday. I would hope that he can vote against what he doesn't like. That's what I do. Senator Rachel Shelby from Alabama, soon to be Appropriations Committee Chairman. I'm sure he sees a purpose in outlier or protest, but there are a lot of ways to manifest that. And actually, no, when people keep voting more and more spending. Thank you. There was no concerted effort at the Republican launch, like the Republican rocket launch Thursday, to persuade Paul to back down, attendees said. Instead, GOP senators concentrate on paying tribute to retiring Senator Thad Cochran of Mississippi. Thad Cochran.
Cock!
It said, Senator Joe Manchin, Democrat of West Virginia, who's a sellout, by the way, said in the past he's attempted to talk Paul out of some of his stance, but learned his lesson. I tried that once. Didn't work. Some Republicans hope reporters can shame Paul into giving in. That's kind of stupid. Just get your ass to work and shut up. We're leaving that to y'all, said Lindsey Graham for South Carolina. Whatever rights he has, he will decide what's the best use of them. I know how the movie ends. No matter what he does, we're going to pass this bill and the military's going to get a pay raise. But we're also going to spend money on shit we're not supposed to spend on.
Well, and plus it's with all the man, it's just I don't even want to go there. It's too convoluted.
Some senators believe Senator John Kennedy, who's a Republican in Louisiana, also must be persuaded to allow a quick vote. Kennedy is among a bloc of conservatives who loathe the close process.
Kennedy!
Used to write the bill in leaders' offices, as well as the increase in spending that will increase the deficit. But in an interview, he sounded less dug in than Paul. Is this just like a slamming Rand Paul article?
Part of it, yeah, but see, the reason I actually brought that to your attention was because I see the slamming and what he's talking about as the things that somebody in Congress is actually doing something right.
All right, and I'm going to leave on this one that this is, as Kennedy says, this is the Kennedy said, this is the best effort of Congress to borrow and spend us into prosperity, and I'm not going to be a part of it. Now, it's funny, he said, I think he went on to say, there are some unhappy folks, understandably, and they should be the way this stuff gets done. And I think actually John Thune said that, by the way. But in the end, you realize we got to fund the government, and it's kind of an inevitability.
But we, as the people, need to change that.
Yes.
Period.
Honestly, guys, I've said this about personal responsibility. You need to be more involved with your life. You don't want to pay the government to do everything for you, because they're not any good at it. Why don't you just do it yourself? Like, look, I pay a plumber. I don't play plumbers either. If I was in a play, if I was in Broadway, I might be like, Mario. I'm not going to be Luigi. I'm a little more overweight than Pat. The General Flynn.
If we're going
he's
by
wearing a green shirt.
If we're going by weight, then you're friggin' Mario.
Luigi by now. Like, Flynn, what kind of? You couldn't be a plumber in New York. It's got a German last name. I was like, well, we had to quit because we didn't build the wall, and I'm starving to death as a pimp. I lost all my hose.
Look, you still got Toadstool.
Look, I had visas. Look, I had all their visas. I said, man, the visa process says, man, we need to build this wall and get these hoes back to work. Because look, that's one of the things. I was like, unemployment numbers sky high for women right now. Not really, but I'm just saying that anyway. We need to build a wall so the hoes can make their money again. Because the competition is killing everything. They're stealing our jobs. Look, man, my pimp hand is only about medium strength right now.
So you're saying MAFA? Make America again?
Yeah. and the United Sex Workers of America are going to team up with the Pimps and Players Union. We're going to bring back dignity when we build that wall. See, you people laugh. But I'm going to tell you this much. Fast Eddie down in the local, he'll tell you, says, man, says he couldn't even buy a new chalice this year for his, his
that's
pimp
low.
cup.
That's
Pimp
low.
cup. I mean, and old man Gracious, like, the OG of the pimp world, he was like, the president back in the day. It's like retired pimp. He doesn't really do a whole lot. He gives speeches and stuff. So old Gracious, man, good night. You wouldn't believe. He's just like, I said, man, he's like, back in my day, like, out of World War II, a daggone pimp had every corner he wanted. Had hoes galore. I had school buses full of hoes. He even had to buy, he's like, I had to buy a school bus for them hoes. I said, I had a new chalice every week. Now this young man ain't got a new chalice every year. That's how hard it is for a pimp. And like, they had to like downgrade like the players ball, like the award show. Like, they ain't giving out Rolexes anymore and stuff like that. It's hard. You'd be surprised, man. Like, guy had to wear the same suit twice. It's tough, dude.
Say it ain't so.
I'm just saying, it's tough. It's hard. It's awful. We need to build that wall. And then we need to fix sidewalks, infrastructure improvements, so we can have homes on them. All right, folks. We're snowballing and joking here. But,
poor choice of words.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
For the pimps and players out there, the sex workers union, they agree with that choice of words. But yeah, we're wrapping up this week. This week in idiocy, but hope y'all enjoyed this, guys, and stay tuned. Not stay tuned, but
After show.
or however I feel like running. But hopefully we'll have some more. We'll talk about FOSTA next week, FOSTA, and do some more homework on that and figure out what the government's really doing. It's
besides screwing us, because we're well aware of that.
Didn't even spit on it first. But anyway, guys, thank you for living in liberty. If you're not living in liberty, start living in liberty. Love one another. Love your neighbors. God bless you. Thank you.
See ya.